So guys, what is the point of this whole story? This pervert, a maniac who has relations with minors, is hiding out in Valdai, hiding in disgrace, while this is what's happening in his country.
A revolt at Putin's nuclear construction site. Hundreds of workers abandoned the reactor and went on strike.
People can't even pay their loans anymore. They've accumulated a lot of debt and everything else too. At the moment, on the site in India where we're working, the living conditions are also terrible. The toilets are overflowing and not being emptied. Water isn't being delivered, we have to buy it ourselves. And
look at the kind of fun they're having in Moscow and the Moscow region. So we've fought ourselves into this situation, huh?
A fire in Moscow and a real disaster in Krasnogorsk near Moscow caused by the careless demolition of a ski resort. From the consequences of the demolition on the ground, the locals are in shock.
It's like some kind of apocalypse, really.
On November 11th, during the day, construction materials caught fire at a residential complex construction site on Ostashkovskaya Street. Residents are sharing footage where the smoke from the fire can be seen from neighboring streets. And
look how beautiful everything is in Crimea. Ukrainian Flamingo missiles in action.
The Ukrainian General Staff showed a powerful launch of 4 Flamingo missiles. These missiles struck targets in Crimea and in the occupied part of Zaporizhzhia. One was shot down over Oriol. The rest reached all their targets. Ukraine does not give up.
Well, of course, yes, Ukraine does not give up. Here's some news from Pokrovsk in...
The armed forces of Ukraine have launched a counteroffensive in Pokrovsk. Ukrainian troops are conducting airborne operations and returning to key directions. The operation is taking place right in the area that Russia claimed was completely encircled.
And here's another story. On November 11th, these images appeared online, supposedly showing a Russian military column of military equipment entering Pokrovsk. Of course, Russian propaganda immediately started presenting this as a great victory for their army. But this triumph of the Russian conscripts turned out to be short-lived. Very short-lived. Take a look. So what exactly happened? Let me tell you. Taking advantage of the weather conditions, Russian troops once again tried to bring fresh resources to Pokrovsk, but came under attack from Ukrainian forces. The video was published by the 25th Separate Airborne Sikislav Brigade. Yes, the Ukrainian armed forces are doing an excellent job. And friends, an important point. Do you want to have a real captured Russian strike drone, Koyubi? Then I have some very good news for you. The 429th Separate Achilles Unmanned Systems Regiment urgently needs to buy a van to deliver ammunition due to a critical necessity. That's why a contest is being launched for a unique trophy brought down by this unit, almost undamaged, the very same Russian strike drone, Cub. Here is the QR code right now on your screens. The conditions for participating in the contest are in the description below this video. And of course, glory to the armed forces of Ukraine. So what is Putin doing in this situation? Well, of course, as usual, he's making trouble for the whole world. Look, isn't this interesting?
These shots have gone around the world. A Turkish F-16 flies over Baku in honor of Victory Day. The pilot is filming everything right from the cockpit. Altitude, speed, the flag of Azerbaijan under the wing, the union of two brotherly armies, in the sky and on the ground.
Yes, it really is beautiful. Now imagine what kind of reaction this video could provoke in Putin, considering his relationship with Aliyev, who hates him, and with Erdogan. And then this happens next.
British crews crashed after the parades. Baku. A large military transport plane crashed in Signaki on the border of Azerbaijan and Georgia. In the footage from the scene, you can see the plane spiraling down as it crashes.
You know, of course I won't make any definitive claims, but I have this suspicion, this feeling that this tragedy didn't happen without Russia's involvement. You do remember how Russia knows how to shoot down, for example, Azerbaijani planes, right? You remember, don't you? It's
hard to believe this is just a coincidence. Over the past year, Moscow has shot down an Azerbaijani civilian plane and has struck the country's oil and gas facilities in Ukraine several times.
Yes, it's hard to believe. Especially since after the parade in Baku, this happened as well.
Moscow strikes Azerbaijan again. In addition to attacks on residential buildings, the invaders once again targeted a diplomatic mission. As Volodymyr Zelensky reported, the Azerbaijani embassy was damaged.
But again, of course, it's probably just a coincidence. But after the Turkish plane went down, and after the strike on the Azerbaijani embassy in Kyiv, suddenly planes and helicopters started crashing and falling on Russian territory itself. How does it all line up like that, huh?
The moment the Ka-226 helicopter crashed in Dagestan was caught on video. According to preliminary reports, the pilot lost control. The aircraft hit the ground several times and crashed into a private house. The helicopter burst into flames and part of the fuselage broke off. 5 people died.
And then, a Su-30 fighter jet suddenly crashed as well. Sometimes things like this just happen. Maybe the fighter jet just got tired, right?
A Su-30 fighter jet crashed in Karelia not far from Petrozavodsk. 2 crew members died. Emergency services have been dispatched to the scene of the tragedy. According to preliminary information, the incident occurred near the city airport, the Ministry of Defense reports. The cause of the plane crash is still unknown.
And finally, now here's a very telling story. Here in Russia, they've unveiled a very powerful humanoid robot. Silicon Valley and the Pentagon immediately got nervous. Oh, hilarious. For comparison, here's a similar robot in China. Just look at the difference.
At the robot's presentation, the Chinese didn't believe it was a robot, thinking it was a human in front of them. So the organizers had to cut away some of the robot's fabric to prove otherwise. This humanoid robot has a flexible spine, 22 degrees of arm immobility, and it can even choose its own gender.
It's immediately obvious that Russia is really an appendage and a colony of China. Look, the Chinese have already taken all of the Russian taiga for themselves. And Russia isn't crying and can't do anything about it.
Farewell, my dear and majestic taiga. You are departing and heading to China, never to return. Goodbye, goodbye. See you soon.
Yes, the worst is only just beginning for Putin's Russia. Subscribe to the Union YouTube channel